All right, just a heads up, we have an exam a week from today. If you want to come early, you can. I'm here at 7 typically. You don't have to come that early. This class doesn't start until 10:30, right? But if you want to come at like 9, you can get started early. You can get done early if you want, or if you think you might need more time. I do try to gauge the exam for that amount of time that we have available for you. But that's hard for me to do because I draw probably faster, or I know the assignment because I made it, right? So I can't really test it. So if you want to come early next week. If you're coming crazy early, let me know. So I'm make sure I'm here. But most of the time I am here at 7. So all right, today, pretty easy day in here. You have the jewelry box to get done by the end of day. That needs to have all its drawings uploaded and its assembly information for the poor soul that's going to build this thing sometime in the future. So obviously we're not doing it next Thursday. So we'll probably build it, I don't know when, because we're running out of time. All right, today we're going to do a tiny home floor plan, but the fun news is we're going to steal it. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about the design center, about templates, and kind of how to work packages that you already have built and use things that you've already made or things that other people have made. Everybody does this all the time. We don't need to be reinventing the wheel when somebody else has made something that we can use, right? Yeah, huh?
Is that a challenge?
That's a challenge, yeah. Well, it's good design strategy. Well, anytime you're going to design anything, you go look at what's been done. You should. We're not going to create it from zero. We don't do that unless it's super unique. All right, so the first thing is I just want a reminder about templates. So templates can be an actual template file, which is like a DWT file, right? A drawing file is a DWG file. Then a backup file is a BAK file. So AutoCAD names these files with those extensions, for reasons. But when you go to File New, it throws you into the template area, right? And we already know we can travel out of this area to find either our personal template, which might be on a flash drive, or mine are all on OneDrive. It could be in a number of locations, right? So you can also change it from drawing template to DWG, just a drawing that you've made. It's not going to open that drawing. It's going to use it as a template and open a new drawing. Okay, that's the part I really want to emphasize. When I get done, and I'm going to use one of these existing ones, or I can go and say, oh, I'm going to look at where I just found out where I'm at here. There I am. Desktop. So here's some drawings I threw on the desktop. One of them is a drawing that I used to make one of my remodel projects, right? So I traveled to it. I found it. It's a drawing. It's saying select template. So I'm going to use the drawing as the template. And I'm going to open it. You get it all when you do that. Like, hey, there's a lot of drawing in here where templates are normally empty, right? But this, I used a drawing to make a template. See what the name of the file is up above? Drawing 2. Yeah, so if I hit save right now, I'm not going to ruin that drawing. Like if I go like this and go, well, I don't want any of this. What I really wanted was my, cool layouts that I had all ready to go. And I wanted all my layers that I had figured out. And I wanted some line types and line thicknesses, right? That I already had. That's what I really wanted. But now if I hit save, I'm not going to affect that drawing that I used as a template. You get that? If you just open a drawing, that drawing's open, erase everything, do some work, and then save it, you just ruined that drawing that you had. And it's still there as a backup file, but if you do it a couple times, it's gone, unless you have another backup, okay? So you can use a drawing as a template and pull anything out of it you want. Does that make sense? All right. So as you make drawings in the future, you're like, oh, this is a lot like that one project I did. I'll just open that project as a template, and boom, I have a lot of stuff ready to go. Okay, so like on this one, I'm undoing. Just hit the undo button and keep hitting the enter key, and you just undo back in sequence. You know, maybe I want this foundation part. Maybe my next project is going to be a concrete footer, and it's going to have, you know, post and beam situation for the floor setup. That's a great drawing. I can use that drawing right now, right? In this new project. So that's how you can use that. Super helpful. All right. The next part is what's called, oops, I'll go back in there. Or was it here? It's called the Design Center. And it's, if you want to find it, it's under View. And it's like the smallest little button ever right there, Design Center. Of course, I don't do that. I type in AD and you'll see that it's a Design Center. They had to get creative with your type ins because they were running out of like, oh, A can't stand for 5 different things, right? So a Design Center is AD, that's all you have to type, and you get the same thing. Okay, this, I think we've done this once, right? Have we looked at this at all? Yeah, I thought I did it once, but anyway, this is how you can steal things from drawings. So if I know I have layouts in a drawing and I want those layouts, I can go grab them. If I know there's blocks in a drawing and I like them and I want to use them, I can go grab them, okay? So like, for example, I've done only a few hydraulic schematics when I worked for Kiewit. I designed lubrication trucks, and those are trucks that deliver lubrication to heavy equipment. So they had a lot of different fluids on board, and there was a hydraulic system, pumps and dispensers. And anyway, we did a hydraulic schematic for that to try and figure out how to plumb them each time. But I don't do any of those. So if I was going to do a hydraulic schematic right now, I would go pull those blocks that I made and use them in the new schematic. You shouldn't be repeating things. You should only have to make things once and then bring it in. Maybe you have to scale it. Maybe you have to modify it, but you shouldn't have to draw it from scratch. Like a floor plan, we should not have to draw that from scratch, right? We should be able to pull up a template or pull up a drawing that we've done and make pretty fast progress with it. All right, so how it works is you have to travel to the drawing. You use this system to travel. I set them on the desktop just to show you. But if I was going to need to go to, you know, OneDrive or somewhere else, then you would have to travel to it if that was available. When you click on a drawing, it gives you the things you can steal. It doesn't mean there's anything in there. It just gives you automatically a list of everything, right? So you can steal layers. I could click, so I 2-clicked on layers. Here's some layers that I created in that drawing. If I wanted one, I could steal it, like 2-click, and you're gonna get it, right? It used to be click and drag, so if you have older systems, you might have to click and drag. It seems to be a 2-click now, so that should have brought me in a layer. Yeah. I think I already had all of those, but that's how it works. If I wanted a block, I 2-click on the blocks and I see them. So here's all the blocks that I had available in that drawing. These are not available to you just automatically. You have to load them to bring them in. And I have loaded a bunch into Blackboard. Some of you have already seen it. That's just a drawing with a bunch of blocks in it that you can steal. Steal the whole drawing, take whatever you want. When you want one of these, I don't know, what do we want? Is there a tree? There's not really a good tree. Oh, there's a plant. Click, drag it, place it. It doesn't mean that your zoom is the right zoom when you place it. It could come in really small, it could come in really big, right? But I had something going on here. Yeah, so this is kind of a big drawing. That's why it went in really small. But once you get it, of course, you can move it around, you can scale it, right? It's just a single object. Make it bigger and smaller. And if you want to modify it, you can explode it. Be careful with that, because exploding it turns it into individual pieces, drives your file size up. So if you're working on a laptop that's kind of on the edge anyway, and you bring in a big block of some kind and then you explode it, you just like created a giant file. So whenever you can, you leave blocks as blocks. It keeps your file size small.
Or if we explode it, could we change it and make
Yeah,
it
and then turn it back into a block. It stores all of that stuff.
so it'll still be a big file.
The file stores all of that. Yep. So it's like when you're placing hatching. We haven't done that yet, I don't think. Hatching goes in as a block, but if you explode it, all of those lines become individual lines, and that's stored in the registry. So you can undo and undo back. Yeah. So once you put it, place it and explode it, it's in there, unless you don't save. Because then you have the opportunity to undo it, that puts it back into a block, and then you could save it as a single block. So just be careful with it. Most of the time it's not, more modern computers, it's not a problem. This 15 years ago would have taken every one of these stations out when a student does it. Like they'll have worked 3 hours on a project and then they explode a block. Oh, just take the system down. They lost everything. So modern systems are better, a lot more storage. But now it is individual, right? So I could say, oh, I don't want that many leaves. I want this many leaves, right? I don't know. But yeah, you can modify it. Okay. All right. Very good. And then the last thing is today you have to travel to a software internet site called GrabCAD. And when you search it, GrabCAD, it'll show you kind of parts of GrabCAD. If you just go into here, GrabCAD's gotten huge since they first started this. This used to be just a online community of engineers that would share things they've done in softwares, right? Make them available to each other. It's grown now. You can pay, right? Just like any free system, you can get in for free and then they're gonna want you to like upgrade for $12.99 a month. You can have all this. No, just do the free one. That's all I'm asking you to do. You do have to make an account to use it, okay? But here's where you wanna go, is the library of CAD models. So there are different areas of GrabCAD now. It even makes software for 3D printers now. So it's really it's gotten huge. But in here is the library of models or drawings. So when we're in SolidWorks, we can travel here and look for SolidWorks models, right? You're gonna want an AutoCAD. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is switch the software to not every possible software, because the things you see you can get, but AutoCAD can't open them, right? It's a lot of different softwares. You want to travel, you want to tell it, hey, just show me AutoCAD stuff, okay? Now I haven't done a search yet, so it's not really giving me much, but if I search table, then I'm going to see all of the things that you get some advertising too. Somehow it knows I kite foil. What's up with that? Anyway, it's showing AutoCAD stuff, right? And it's showing tables. Now, AutoCAD does, there's Inventor, there's a number of packages to AutoCAD that do 3D modeling. We're not doing 3D modeling, we're doing regular AutoCAD, right? So you can see here, it gives you a list of things. Sometimes people just upload the rendering. In other words, they don't really want to give their file away, but they want people to see that they have it. And then you can reach out to them and you can possibly buy it from them, type of thing. Sometimes you can get anything you want, like the AutoCAD file, the 3D model of it, whatever, right? So you do have to kind of be careful going through it to figure out like, oh, what is it I can get? What is, you can see there's a lot of pages, you know, it just goes on and on and on and on, right? So this one says AutoCAD, I'll just click on it. When you scroll down, you'll see the files that you can get. See them? Do I see a DWG? No. I do see a DXF, which is kind of an AutoCAD universal file format. So it is an AutoCAD file that you can open. It's less, you're less able to edit it. What you want to find is a DWG. That thing you're going to be able to open it straight up. So let me back up. Let me type in what you're going to type in Tiny home floor plan. I might have been too descriptive there. How about just floor plan? Yeah, I get a lot there and multiple pages. So there, that kind of looks like a tiny home. Maybe it's larger than I think. Right? So scroll along, and these also are starting to look more like AutoCAD files that we can maybe open. So I'm going to look at this one. It does give you a load in 3D viewer, but I'm not going to do that. Right? And it is a DWG. Right? So do some searching. Be diligent. When you look at it, there's a download file button right here. There's other download file. This is the one I use, download file, because I like to look at it and go, it looks good. Download file. That's going to go into your download area. Right? So then I just two-click on it and that'll open it in AutoCAD. So you've just got somebody else's file that they're willing to share, right? So you can kind of cruise around and look and see, oh yeah, they even have some layers set up. So they did some stuff. They have one line type, that's about it. If I zoom in, they have things labeled, that's nice. They have some strange line types going on, probably in their layer property. So sometimes you have to go and kind of debug folks' stuff because not everybody does stuff right, you know, kind of thing. But this is your project. Now, you do have one piece that's going to be all you. You kind of have to modify it, make it yours, whatever, however you want to do that. I'll never know. But you have to get it in layout. And you have to be able to get it to print, and I want specific text size. So you're going to have to do some editing, not redimensioning. You should not have to delete the dimensions and redo it, right? You go into the properties of the dimensions, make them annotative, like you know how, set their text type to what you want, make it work with layout, right? Just kind of standard stuff that we should just do over and over and over. It's good practice. I think I said 0.125 on the dimensions and 0.2 on any other notes.
So all we're doing is we're just copying a file and then adjusting the dimension and making our own.
Yep,
That's it.
that's it. Should be a simple, straightforward project. It's going to introduce you to GrabCAD, right? You're going to see opportunities there to pull things off for the future. You should use it all the time, the rest of your life.
We have floor plan or something else.
I think I said tiny home floor plan. No. I want to see your floor plan. All right, questions?
Not our floor plan.
Do your floor plan like that and then do an inch. Fine. It's got to be a 2D engine. There's probably not a lot of that out there. AutoCAD 2D files are less and less common, so. Questions, we're good? Everyone get it? It's interesting because they must have done this intentionally for some reason. But what a pain. Well, the dimensions. You just wonder what, well, I think it was a student because it's labeled
Oh, yeah.
Assignment.
assignment, so, you know,
Is there a way in AutoCAD to like
3D printing.
zoom all the like dimensions all?
It just allows them all.
so to modify them all at once.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. So to modify these, I would first, so let's do this. Let's get these to 0.125. What would I do first? Nope,
We'll go to the annotated.
go to layout and figure out my scale. That's what I gotta do first,
So are we
right?
going by their scale?
No, now it's mine. It's all me, right? So I'd probably have used my template, so my title block came in and everything, right? Or I'll go steal it and bring it in. But, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna check and see if it's, quarter's pretty common. Well, that's definitely not a quarter. It looks good,
Looks good.
right?
Then you go back.
So now I know my scale, 1/8. And now I'm gonna just select everything. And right click and go to properties. And then you can sort, because it says all, and I can sort by, they call them rotated dimensions, right? But that's just your dimensions. There's 19 of them. You can see the number, right? And that's looks about right. There's 19. So I'm now gonna look at just dimensions. So even though everything got selected, I'm just choosing dimensions. And I see that they're not annotative. So I would like them to be annotative. And I would like the scale to be what?
We'll do that in.
20,
Did we do 8?
What was it?
20.
1/8. So the way this dialog box works is you have to add a scale. And then you need to remove the other scale. Kind of an odd way to do it, I think, but that's how you do it in the properties area. And you say, okay. So now we need to, why did it do that? Yeah. What else do we need to check? Text height, yeah. So let's go look and see the text. Scroll down to text. Text height is a foot. Like, what were they smoking? I have no idea. 0.125.
Wow.
Just fixed it. Didn't change one dimension. I might, because I think his dimension starts assuming it's me. But that's just me. And it shows up here, and that's 0.125.
You didn't change your scale. Any, model.
Yeah, I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's change that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering, because.
No, I changed it here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
don't have to change it there. If I
That's
change it in
all.
the properties, you don't have to change it.
Oh,
So here's something I don't think I've shown you. How can I verify that that's gonna be 1/8 of an inch on the paper? I think it is.
You can measure it,
You can measure it. Where would I measure it?
well, you switch to paper size.
You switch to paper space. That's awesome.
Then you can-
Paper space now, if I throw a dimension down,
Don't wanna use it.
and this is how you do it, you gotta get into the number, right? I'm in paper space, I zoom into it. And you can actually dimension it. So I literally just go, what is it from here to right there? And I place it and I zoom back. And it's kind of weird. So now, what's that mean?
Zero,
Yeah, why?
because it's, yeah, 1/8 of an inch.
The units probably are not showing that kind of precision. Oh, they got it architectural, but the precision is to 0 inches. Yeah,
switch.
so I wanna switch it to like a big number or a really small number, sorry. Say, okay, still didn't do it. Oh, that's gotta be updated probably.
When you
Probably would
reload it,
have to be updated. There used to be an update. Was stretching me. And you could update dimensions, and I didn't do it. So it's probably still in the dim style. Let's
try
see.
reload.
No, I keep saying he, it's probably he. A woman would never make these mistakes. Let's see if I can do units.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff in here. Dim scale, text. Where's precision, text? Anyone see it?
We're the most fucked up file we can. Yeah, and see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if that works. This is a messed up file. Precision, right there. There's only, 1,000 things in here. It's-
Is there like a search command?
Ah, see?
10,000.
Check it out.
Maybe 100.
I can even get that accurate, but I'll keep it simple. Remember what I did? I measured that in paper space and it says 1/8 of an inch. That's how you verify. It'll go much faster in your files because they're not as messed up. Huh?
Hey, you just got real confusing.
So
real
for an
quick.
easy project, yeah.
This would be the hard part, would just be making sure that you get the right text, but you have to do that, if you're gonna steal stuff. And it's not stealing, because GrabCAD is an open community. If you're going to share stuff and allow people to share with you, you gotta debug it. I have never gotten a clean AutoCAD file from any engineer out there that has sent me something.
I just realized.
It's just, it might be clean, it's just so different than the way I would do it. I have to figure out like what the heck they did.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't think I've been cheating.
The best one that I've ever seen And AutoCAD has fixed this problem. Is you used to be able to draw in black, and the background was actually black. And now you wouldn't be able to see that. And so things would come to you and somebody will have done that, and there's just lines everywhere once you find them, like. Fortunately, they changed the background to not be like solid black, so you can't really do that. And then
Like white
in
messages.
layout, right, you used to be able to draw in white. Like just regular white, right? But what's it do now? Switches it to black. So didn't used to do that. Like you get on an old system and you can really get messed up. It's like somebody drew in black on black and there's just lines everywhere. And they show up when you go to print. It's like, what is happening? All right, that's it. Lap time, get those jewelry boxes done. And then your little tiny home project. I made it do in a week.
Wait, oh. No, okay.